Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So for today's video, we are going to be doing our next weapon comparison, and for this weapon, we will be comparing the energy sword across all the Halo games that we can compare. So just as a reminder, as I always mention, I cannot compare Halo 5 or Halo 2 Anniversary in this video because there are no mod tools that exist yet where I can get the stats, the actual weapon stats, from the game files. And without those stats, I can't make an objective comparison on which Halo game has the best version of said weapon. So I don't want to just go by like observations, like that weapon looks like it does more damage or something like that. I want to actually get like the actual numbers and see which one is objectively the best. So that's why we can't do Halo 2 Anniversary or Halo 5. But we can do all the other Halo games, so let's get right into it, and let's start with Halo 1. So technically, Halo 1's energy sword you can't use, but we're going to compare it anyways, just to see what it's like. So this energy sword, the information is actually kind of hard to get. I don't really know the range of the lunge, because A, you can't use it as a player, and the way the elites don't seem to lunge at you with it, they have to be like right like in your face to do it. But when they hit you, it does 151 points of damage, doesn't seem like it's lungeable, and like I said, you can't actually use it. So that's all we really got for the Halo 1 energy sword. But let's move on to Halo 2 now, where we can finally actually use the energy sword, and that's one of the really cool new things about Halo 2. Now, the Halo 2 energy sword, as you can see right now, had a lot of really cool tricks associated with it. A lot of, I guess they were glitches, but you could. The most notable and most famous thing is sword flying, which I will actually factor into the final decision. But let's look at the actual numbers first. So it has a range of 8 meters for lunging that you can lunge to an enemy, and there's two types of damage. There's the regular melee damage, which does 70 points of damage, and when you lunge using the right trigger at an enemy, that does 150 points of damage. So slightly less than Halo 1, 1 point of damage less. But there's a big plus side to this in multiplayer, and that the sword has infinite ammo, actually. So that's Halo 2's sword. I don't know why it's like 1 point less damage than Halo 1's, but that's what it is. Moving on to Halo 3, it's mostly the same as Halo 2's energy sword appearance-wise, but in multiplayer you no longer get infinite ammo, so that's one of the drawbacks. And when two people have energy swords and they swing at each other, their swords can actually clash now, also known as a sword parry. And it's actually a pretty cool feature, actually pretty fun. But let's take a look at the other stats first. So Halo 3, they actually reduced your lunge range a little bit. Instead of 8 from Halo 2, it's now only 6. Apparently it's done for balancing. But its melee and lunge damage are now both the same, meaning whether you use the right trigger to swing at an enemy, to lunge at them, or you just melee them with the right bumper or the B button, they'll both do the same amount of damage, 150 points of damage each. But yeah, so it's either way it'll be like one hit kill if you hit them. So it doesn't really matter which melee you use. Just the regular melee is just faster, and there's a lot of sword tactics associated with it. Now then, the next Halo game to feature a usable energy sword is Halo Reach. Halo Reach's energy sword changed a bit gameplay-wise. You could still sword parry or sword clash with other people, but now your strikes can actually be blocked by a regular melee. It doesn't need another energy sword, just any melee can block it now, which I kind of find is a downside to it. But the range has been reduced even more. From Halo 2 was 8, then 6 in Halo 3, and now it's 4.5 in Reach. But both melee damages and the lunge damages, they've been jacked up a lot. It is now 250 instead of the 150 from Halo 3 and 2 and the 151 from Halo 1. The only downside is that, like I said, it could not be blocked by any kind of melee. But yeah, so for some reason Halo Reach's energy sword is like super powerful damage-wise compared to the other ones. But let's move on to Halo 4 now, the last game that we can compare as far as comparable swords go. But so the Halo 4's energy sword, it's I actually personally don't like it that much. There's a lot of downsides to it. Namely, hitting any object simply drains the sword now. Even if we hit like a wall or something on the floor, it drains the sword. That's like the first time it's ever done that. It doesn't, you can't block it with melees anymore, but still. As for its stats, it's the same as Halo Reach. Same range, same melee damage, same lunge damage. Like I said, the biggest difference is that it can't be blocked by simple melees anymore like in Reach, but a bigger downside is that hitting any object, whether it's like an enemy or not, would drain the sword, meaning it's a lot less effective against enemies like hunters, so it drains faster overall. So which Halo game does have the best energy sword? Well, if you want to go by damage and like stuff like that, then I'd probably say Halo Reach. Yes, damage is tied with Halo 4, but Halo 4 does have the downside of the sword basically draining faster from hitting anything. So that's why between Halo Reach and 4, I would give it to Halo Reach. However, I would not say Halo Reach is the best energy sword. I would actually still give that to Halo 2. Halo 2's energy sword, it may not do the most damage, especially with the regular melee swings, which aren't always one-hit kill. But Halo 2's energy sword is actually pretty crazy. Not only is it like infinite ammo in multiplayer, it's the tricks you can do with it on MCC or OG Halo 2, it's just insane, and just it leads to like a lot of other cool things that you could do with it. So, you know, sword flying is a pretty awesome feature, quote unquote, of the Halo 2 energy sword, and that is part of the reason why I'm probably gonna say Halo 2's energy sword is the best. But if you want to go by damage and like overall features, then you could say Halo Reach. But Halo 2's energy sword, like I said, it's less damage, but it doesn't really matter because if your lunge fully connects to the enemy, it's one-hit kill anyways. So I mean, it's not a big difference actually. It doesn't matter that Halo Reach's energy sword is like jacked up. So gameplay-wise, it's all the same. But you know, if you want to go by pure stats, then you could say Halo Reach is the best sword. But overall, I'd still give it to Halo 2 in this case. So yeah, there you guys have it. That is what I believe to be the best energy sword. It was a hard decision because like they each have their ups and downs, as you can see. But I'd still probably give it to the Halo 2 energy sword. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video and found it to be interesting, as always, make sure to leave a like. If you want to discuss which one you think is the best, feel free to discuss in the comments, and also let me know which weapon you want me to compare next for our next video, and I'll definitely do my best to get around to it. But other than that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys!